Welcome
to the first episode.
First episode of Just One More Chapter. This is definitely weird.
Yeah.
Oh my
You'll
goodness.
have to bear with us this first episode because we're a little nervous.
Yes, I know. This is out of our comfort zone. So it's going to be crazy. Well, I'm Melanie.
I'm Santana.
And this is our podcast. So welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
This episode is just going to be about us just introducing ourselves, having you get to know us, and figure out what this podcast is going to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we'll just get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Melanie. I'm a Taurus, and I'm a stay-at-home mom of two beautiful little kids. I also do photography on the side. And yeah, I kind of roped Santana into doing a podcast.
I'm Santana. I'm an Aries. And I'm a stay-at-home dog mom. I also work for my boyfriend. And yeah.
So I thought we just kind of I have a list here of things we're going to, discuss regarding book related, and just to kind of get to know us more and the books that we like. So the first one we're going to talk about is, do we start reading when we were younger or older? When did you?
Super young, as far back as I can remember. I was always reading, or my parents were reading to me, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, I just fell in love with reading.
Did you keep reading throughout your years?
Totally, yeah. Throughout, when I was younger, it was the Junie B. Jones series.
I don't know that.
Oh, it was it was elementary school, young. But I was obsessed with those books. Mm-hmm. And then it was Harry Potter. And, moving on to those kind of series. So,
totally.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, yeah. For as long as I can remember, I loved books.
Yeah.
I didn't read any of the Harry Potter ones. Yeah. I think the Berenstain Bears.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, the Berenstain and Goosebumps.
Yes, and Goosebumps. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Goosebumps too.
Yeah.
I read those.
Yeah.
And I think, I just I was always remember on road trips.
Yeah.
I was always reading.
Yeah.
I was always wanting to read.
Yeah.
So I kind of went through a phase of not reading. I remember that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. In high school, it was kind of a lull.
Not for me in high school.
Yeah, it was
I was writing books in high school.
Yeah, it was my early years in high school. I was no, I was too obsessed with my friends, wanting to do things with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel I didn't have time to read, but
yeah,
after that little stage, it was I was into it.
Yeah. Same. Well, I think the genre that I love to read in the past, so we'll kind of go from past to present. In the past, I loved fantasy. I love fantasy. I love vampires. Yeah. I was big into vampires. Twilight. Hello, can you see it? It's up there. You don't touch those books. Those are books I haven't touched.
Yeah.
But you're big into vampires. And I don't know what the genre is, but Gossip Girl books.
Yes.
I don't know what that genre is. Contemporary?
I guess it would be kind of contemporary.
Yeah.
Almost thriller in a sense.
I guess so.
I would
suspense,
mystery. I don't know.
I don't know what genre of Gossip Girl was, but
Pretty
I was very into Gossip Girl
too. It's kind of the same thing. I was obsessed with those ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
No, I did not touch those ones.
Yeah.
So what was the genre? Was it romance or fantasy for when you're younger?
Yeah, I think it was mainly kind of romance, or I don't really know, those type of books. I don't know what you would call those,
totally
contemporary, young adult novels.
YA. That's right,
Yeah.
YA. I don't know if that was called back then, but right now it's YA.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but that's what I used to love to read.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we'll get into, we're going to do our top 3 books or book series. In no particular order.
Oh, it's so hard to I was thinking about this last night, and I'm oh God, I don't know.
I know.
I think not
Pretty Little Liars?
No, not Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars. Gone Girl is what I was thinking of. Gone Girl was one of my top ones. I was obsessed with that book. And then for series, I have to put Harry Potter up there for me.
Yeah.
And then I think the one we're reading now is
that's
oh my God,
that's in your top 3.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that series later.
Exactly.
Top 3 book or in no particular order. I have to give Twilight a shout out because I was obsessed with Twilight in high school. Mm-hmm. It was my religion when it came out and following those books. So I definitely have to give Twilight as the book series. Oh gosh, it's actually really hard.
I know it's hard to like think of them.
It is. Well, I think because we're talking about like the past,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the past books. So
Yeah.
for me, The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I loved The
Those are
Hunger
really good,
Games.
too.
And okay. I can't pick just one next one. So I'm gonna give like they're both in my top 3.
Yeah.
Would be the Maze Runner series and Divergent series. Yeah, which is like right there. I was obsessed with all of what's it called? It's dystopian.
Oh, yes.
That type of book genre. I was obsessed with that.
I
And
feel like that
vampires.
genre was like so hard for me to get into. I don't know why. Like just like
it's a lot because
Yeah.
there's a lot of background.
Definitely.
It's a big world,
Yeah.
so I could see that
Exactly.
But I think you were just into Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly.
you're fantasy all the way.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I love dystopian.
Yeah.
I love dystopian and the Vampire Diaries, the books. I was obsessed with the Vampire Diaries books.
I never read those ones.
Oh, they're really good.
Yeah.
They're so different from the TV show.
Yeah.
But they were really good.
Yeah.
And it was before Twilight came out that I would love.
So it like kind of got you into that.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what book or series that gave us the book itch to keep reading? We'll talk about like the past. So a book or series that gave us the book itch to keep reading. Like maybe something after your slump. So you said in high school, you kind of had like a slump. You didn't really read.
I'm trying to think now.
After high school, what really got you to keep reading?
Probably Pretty Little Liars or like Gossip Girl, like those kind of series.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how many, but I had so many Gossip Girl books.
Yeah,
There was a
me
lot
too.
of
There
those
were
books.
So many,
but they
Oh
were
my God,
tiny too,
they
though.
were little,
So they're pretty easy to read through. But yeah, I was obsessed with Gossip Girl.
Same.
And there was another one which I'm so mad I didn't like research.
Yeah.
But it was another type of like preppy school kids.
Yeah.
If I remember, I'm gonna put it up in the screen.
Yeah.
Like that book, that series, I was obsessed with. So it was kind of the same
vibe.
Same vibe.
Yeah.
Same vibe. Trying to think back of when we first started to chat about books. And I can't really remember what like books it was. And it's like was like frustrating me.
What I can remember is like Colleen Hoover, like Verity.
That's right.
You lent me
That's
Verity.
right.
And then it was like, yeah, we always chatted about books.
Yeah, that's right. I think that was like during the pandemic.
Yeah.
When like everyone was obsessed with Colleen Hoover.
Yeah.
And I definitely know she's not loved right now about her books. And I understand a little bit. But that's right. It was Verity.
Yeah.
It was Colleen Hoover.
Yeah.
And that kind of started us getting really into chatting about books.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think what started for me of wanting to start a podcast was that we would just keep talking about books.
Yeah.
And we would just share the books.
Yeah.
And I just realized, because that was 2020, 2021?
2020.
Yeah.
Like
so it's been a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Like every time we go for lunch, we're like discussing new books.
Yeah. So I don't know. And then something came over me the beginning of this year. I was like scrolling through TikTok like everyone else does.
Yeah.
And then I just saw another podcast of a group of girls, and I thought, I think we can do that. I think we can talk about our books and just be uncomfortable on camera and audio.
Exactly.
Put ourselves out there and chat about it.
You never know until you try. So
yeah. What did you think when I asked you about doing a podcast?
I was excited. I was like, why not? I just quit my job, so I was like, I'm gonna have time now, and
Try
I love chatting about books. So
hopefully you do too, people. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I thought, why not? Why not us start a podcast? And if we have other people who want to listen, that'd be great. Yeah. But I think just putting time and effort into something that we both love, I just thought
being creative.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. So I want to talk about reading preferences. I had a lot more books when I was younger. Okay. So if you're looking, if you're watching us on YouTube, there's bookshelves behind us, and I have a bunch of books that I've definitely dwindled down over the years, but my preferred is definitely like physical copy
All the way. Like, I feel like we look at screens enough all day. Like, I like to look at a physical book. I like to turn the page. You know
Yes,
what
no,
I mean?
no shade to people who have a Kindle or Kobo or anything. And I know some people, I understand why people like it.
Yeah. 100%.
But
it's convenient.
Mhm.
It takes up less space.
Yes, you don't got to carry.
It's cheaper, isn't it? Is it cheaper?
Yeah, I think there's well, for Canadians, it's like $7. Sometimes it's like $7 to $10 for a book. But I have heard too that sometimes it can be 17, I want to say.
So same price sometimes.
Yeah, I think
depending
so.
on the book, I'd
Depending.
imagine.
Or if you have Libby. If you have the app Libby for your library, not all, some books they have through the Library Association you can get and just rent for free.
Oh, okay.
So
I seen that at the library. You can get like,
but the thing about
electronic version, I guess. They call it.
Yeah. The thing about Libby though is that everyone, I think it's through Canada and the States, is you put in a request and there's a list and there's people say there's 23 people and each of them are waiting for the next person to be finished with the book.
Oh,
so
I see.
you have to kind of wait.
You're on a wait list.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if
you
you're
have to
not
put
ready,
it on hold essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And then they'll give you notifications to your phone hey, your turn's coming up and they'll hold it for you for a couple of days.
Oh, that's cool.
But then when they give you the notification, you have to be ready to read a book.
Yeah, exactly.
And
sometimes I'm halfway through it.
Yes.
And I can't read 2 books at once.
Okay, so you can't read 2 books at the same time.
No.
Yeah.
I just I get so into a story where I'm locked in. You know what I mean? I can't go back and forth. It just
I know.
I don't know why.
No, I think it's just maybe my attention span or my little brain.
Mine too.
I can only be immersed in one story because it would get me confused.
Same.
And I find a lot of days books are very similar.
Oh, totally.
Right?
Especially if it's the same genre.
Yes.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
They can definitely get me confused. Right now from the library, our local library. Oh my God, local library. I have a book sitting on my computer desk and I haven't even touched it.
Yeah.
Because I just can't do it. I can't. I can't read 2 at once.
I get too into the books I'm reading. I become obsessed.
Obsessed. Or I can't read
something
5
good. I'm oh my God, I need more.
I know. I have to finish it.
Yeah.
Especially if the book series has been out for a couple years and already all the books are out.
Yeah.
I'm reading all of the books.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to finish a book series so quickly, I just want to stay in that one world and live in that one world.
Yeah. Just as long as I can.
Exactly. I don't really have a rating system, but do you in terms of 5 stars to 1 stars? What would you consider a 5-star rating?
A 5-star? Oh, I would say it has to be something I'm wow,
you're interested from day one of reading it.
Exactly. Yeah, page turner. I couldn't stop reading this book. Kind of thing. That would be a 5-star for me. What about you?
Yeah, I think for me, a 5-star is definitely keeping me entertained and I want to keep reading and I'm up late reading and for me, 5 stars are always books that I read under a week.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a decent size. That's how I know that it's a 5-star. I went through in a couple days.
Exactly.
So, and then for me, I don't know, 4, 3, I don't know. It really depends. I think I'm trying to think of books that I've given a 4. I think something in the book has to be not something that I vibe with.
Yeah.
No matter how addicting it is, if there's something in the book where I'm oh, I don't really like that, then it's a 4.
A character, I'm just she's annoying.
Yes.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I give that a mid rating.
Yeah. Same. And then for you, what would be I know on Goodreads, there's only 1. You can't go 0.
Yeah.
I think you can't rate it. What would for you be a 1 rating?
Oh my God, I don't think I've ever given a book
really?
A 1.
Oh, I've given a Colleen Hoover books 1 ratings.
I mean, there's ones that I just won't finish them if I don't like them.
Oh, so you'll DNF a book.
So I'll just be no, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. If I don't like it from the jump or I'm halfway through and I'm still not into it, I'm yeah, I'm not finishing this.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Can you remember of a book that recently that you just didn't finish?
Not recently. I've been reading bangers recently.
I know,
Thanks
you're
to
welcome.
you. Thanks to you.
For the Christians.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For me, it was, I'm going to look on my shelf because where did I put it? It's The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That was so popular on Book Talk.
Yeah.
I think in 2023.
Yeah.
I tried it. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's like very popular. I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I don't even think I got quarter way through that book. I was like, I can't read it.
Yeah,
I'm done.
sorry.
And I bought the physical copy.
Yeah,
Yay.
love that.
I love that for me.
See, that's the thing with buying books too. It's like,
yes.
oh, if you don't like it, it's like, damn, I just wasted my money.
I know, and books are expensive nowadays.
Geez.
Like $30 for a book.
Hardcover. It's like
hardcover.
excuse me?
I love hardcovers,
Yeah.
but if there's no option sometimes to get a soft cover, it's like, is this really good?
I know.
Like, is it that good? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Dead air. So I think maybe we'll get into what our goals is for the podcast and like what people can expect from us from the future of the podcast.
Yeah. So we will be doing, are we talking about the book club?
Yeah, we can go into that, yeah.
Yeah, so we will be doing a monthly book club and we will be going through series that we like and books that we like. And
other than the book club, we'll also we'll have episodes dedicated to like different topics. Like oh my gosh. We'll have a podcast episode talking about our favorite tropes, our books that we really love, books that we did not read or won't read, maybe controversial book tropes, or oh gosh, I can't remember. We'll just have different podcast episodes of different topics, and sometimes we'll have episodes of us just like chit-chatting.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, going over book talk news or things like that. So that's what you can anticipate from us. Before we go into what our monthly book club is, I do have to say that right now there's like a book news we can talk about. I don't know. Were you into Twilight?
I wasn't.
No, you didn't read Twilight?
I didn't read. I watched the movies.
Okay.
I didn't read it, though.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're missing out. I don't know. I think reading Twilight now with like my 32-year-old brain might not really enjoy it compared to my 15-year-old brain.
Exactly.
But there's, so Twilight is all in Bella's perspective. Sometimes you go into Jacob's perspective.
Oh, okay.
But the first book is through Bella, but then after the series came out, Stephanie Meyer had a book called Midnight Sun, which is just an Edward's perspective.
Oh, okay,
I didn't
that's cool.
read that. Sorry, I didn't read it, but it was just announced that they're going to do an animated series through Netflix.
Oh, cool.
Of Midnight Sun.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like right now happening.
Oh,
like
that's
I know
interesting.
we're shooting at the beginning of September. This episode's going to air at the end of September, so it's probably going to be old by the time you hear this. But I'm actually like really excited to see that animated series. But I have one stipulation: if Robert Pattinson is not voicing Edward Cullen, I don't think
it would. Yeah, I don't think it would work.
I don't think it would
hate
work
when they do that. They like change characters.
I know, but you know he is older, so he's not really going to sound young. But I just can't picture anyone being Edward Cullen
other than him.
Yeah. Oh, so definitely. I don't know how I feel about it once they announce the cast, but that's something I'm really looking forward to. It's probably going to come out next year or something.
Well, that's exciting.
It is exciting. So, for all you've been waiting for, we're going to pick our first book of the month, which will be for the month of October.
Yes.
Which is crazy to me.
I know.
It's already October.
It's wild. Summer just flew by. Like, I feel like that every year.
I do and I don't. I feel like I only feel like summer goes by when I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
When it's like super sunny, which it has been here, I just feel like, where did it go?
I know.
Like, I was enjoying myself.
Doing things.
Yes. Okay, drum roll. Santana, what is the first book of our monthly book club going to be?
We are going to be reading Flock from the Ravenhood series.
By Kate Stewart.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to be honest with you. Santana and I have already read this book series.
Obsessed.
So obsessed. So, like, she's going to read the synopsis, but I have to, like, warn everyone. The first half of the book is slow.
It is, yeah.
Right? Like,
but I was still enjoying it.
No, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
But I was kind of like, hey,
nothing's really happening.
Let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah. So, like, you just have to get past that.
Totally.
And then the ending makes it all worth it.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. The ending.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. So, I'm just going to read the synopsis on the back.
Yeah. Just read the stuff at the back of the book.
The deal is simple. All 19-year-old student Cecilia Horner has to do is survive a year in the small town of Triple Falls, living with her estranged father and working at his factory. In return, he'll not only pay her college tuition, but will hand over a small fortune that will enable Cecilia to help her single mother. But everything changes when she meets sexy local Sean on her first day of work. He introduces her to his close-knit circle of friends, a group who live by their own rules and brandish the same raven tattoo, including the enigmatic Dominic.
My
Yes,
favorite.
love Dom. Cecilia has always played it safe, but blinded by her growing feelings for Sean and Dominic. She's determined to enjoy her last summer of freedom and be open to new experiences, no matter where they might lead.
So hopefully that kind of intrigues you.
Yes.
I kind of got this book series off of TikTok because it came out or was just very popular about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I know we're kind of late to the game, but hopefully you listeners haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
And it's your first time reading it.
Mhm.
I just thought we're kind of probably end it here.
Yeah.
Wherever you guys are listening to, whether you're on Apple or Spotify or you're watching us on YouTube, we just kind of want to thank you for being here.
Yes, thanks so much, guys.
And if you can give us a comment on our YouTube, give us a follow.
Like, subscribe,
Yes.
wherever you are.
And we would love to hear from you. If there's a book that you love or an anticipated series you want to read, shoot us a message, leave us a comment, let us
Yeah,
know
Let us know.
what you want to talk
Yeah,
about. Like, we would love to
exactly.
hear from you guys.
Yeah.
And then you can follow us on Just One More Chapter. All of our podcast handles will be in the description notes.
Yes.
Of all of wherever you're listening, if
Yeah.
you're watching too.
And that's just one, the number one.
Number one,
Yeah.
yes. There was already a podcast, like a Spanish podcast
Spanish, so.
that took the name. So that's okay. They don't speak the same language.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.